Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Now I have made a video on this a couple of years ago when magic masking was really big, but there's been a couple of little changes since then. And I know people have asked me a few questions in some of the comments. So let's get into it. So as you can see, I've got a little clip here on my timeline and this is what I'm going to be masking out. Obviously from here, we're going to need to jump into Fusion. Now I know some people do use the masking tool inside the color window, but I actually never use that. It just doesn't seem to work as well for me as the version in Fusion. And that's the one I'm going to be working with today. So if I get my clip, right click on it and click open in Fusion, it will take my clip over to Fusion. And then I'm going to hold Shift and spacebar, find the magic mask, click add, and then drop that between my media in and out. I hold Shift to be able to drop it onto that little line there. And then it's on there. And basically all you do is now in the new version, when you click on the object you want to mask, it's no longer the click and drag. It actually is now just the kind of click and put a few points down and it will start noticing where you want to, basically what you want to select. If you don't want to select something, you click on this minus tool here and then say I want to put it up there because I don't want the background, and it will remember those which I don't want to select. So I'll go back to my selection tool. And what I want to do here is I usually want to go for better, and it basically, it just works better. Use a bit more processing power. You'll find it will feather the edges, so it just works a bit nicer in that sense. And then with the refine range, this, you can mess around with this and see what works best. I kind of find the lower the better, but sometimes also if you go quite low, it seems to just bring up random things. So kind of have a little play around with that. And then the tracking is if you press track forward, it's just going to go forward. And if you press track back, it's just going to go back. You've also got every frame here, reverse frame by frame. But right now we're just going to go forward and back. And what you can do is if something pops up that you don't want it to, you can actually stop it. It will ask you if you want to, click yes, kind of refine it and, you know, re-click on parts you want and parts you don't want, and then keep going. And you should just work through that clip and mask out the sections you've selected. And as I said, it normally does work very well. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there has been times in the past where I've had to keep stopping it, keep refining, readjusting, and then keep going frame by frame. So sometimes it can miss what you're trying to do, but more often than not, it works quite well. What I'm going to do here is the old classic thing where you put text behind the person just to show you how well it's kind of worked. I'm going to basically duplicate the clip and then put the text between the two. Obviously, you have to delete the magic mask from the bottom one. I'm going to put cook, and you can basically see it's done an all right job. It's a bit feathery there around the top of the head, but you could say that's a cool style and that's what you're going for. Now, one thing people have asked me in the comment section is, can I go back to the old way of doing things where you drag and drop a line and you can kind of select things with a line? And I do get it. I think that way, there was something about that way that was a bit nicer. And if you did want to do that, here's how you do it. So let me get magic mask back up onto my effect. And then you just click use legacy magic mask there. And as you can see now, when I go on it, I can kind of click and drag and use the old fashioned magic mask style of doing things. There is something better about the way you can select things on this way. So I do get why people would prefer it. And I mean, I did find this way worked really well for me, but I think maybe it's not as accurate. DaVinci have tried to sway people more towards using the newer way. So I guess they feel it is more accurate, but it does depend on what you're used to. So there you go, and then I'll track that there. See, it hasn't worked as well there. So you just got to find whatever works for you, but probably the newer version does work a bit better. I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, please comment below. And as per usual, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.